Hey writers, this is Lee Jessup, career coach for emerging and professional screenwriters, as well as screenwriting professor for the David Lynch grad program for cinematic studies. Now, if you're watching this chronologically, you know that last week I did my 5 days of pet peeves on the screenwriting front, but as I'm a career coach, I also wanted to get into my pet peeves on the career front, because after all, that is the focus of my work, helping writers go from emerging to professional. And so I wanted to talk about some of the pet peeves that I have as I talk to writers coming into the industry. And so, without further ado, my pet peeve number one for screenwriters coming into the industry on the career front is just not possessing knowledge about the industry and how the industry works. Now, probably the most egregious of these cases and such conversations that I had to be with a writer who moved cross country with their family with the aim of coming and getting a TV writing job, only they had no understanding how one gets staffed on television. Granted, it was a few years ago, so it might have been a little bit easier than it is today. It's going to get easier still, but this writer arrived and literally signed up to work with me and said, "Okay, where do I go get the job?" Not understanding that that is not how television staffing worked, and that it's a little bit more complex than that. Now, over the years, I've talked to writers who have said to me things like, "Oh, I wrote a NBC Monday night TV movie." Well, NBC has not been making TV movies for many, many years. And other such examples that kind of really speak to a lack of industry knowledge. So I think it's really important to understand the world in which you are trying to work. It doesn't mean you have to know the ins and outs of everything and how studio infrastructure works, but if you are writing features, you want to know the difference between the studio world and the indie world and how movies get made in the indie world versus the studio world. If you want to write for television, you want to understand what is television making right now? What is the difference between selling to a streamer and selling to a network? Is network buying at the moment from unestablished writers? Really kind of understanding how it all works will just help you understand what you have to do in order to build the career that you want. The good news is that I've been doing this for many years, and let me tell you, everything is possible in this industry, which is why I love it. We hear all the stories about what used to happen doesn't happen anymore. For example, there are no big spec sales. Well, when you end up having clients who end up coming into the industry with big spec sales, you know that everything is possible. But just because it's possible doesn't mean it's probable, and doesn't mean that you have the privilege or the luxury of coming in without knowledge, because at the end of the day, it's just going to work against you, right? People in the industry meet a lot of people all the time, and it tends to be the people who are knowledgeable, the people who understand the lay of the land, that are able to impress. So that is my first pet peeve for the week of pet peeves on the career front. Hope you found it useful. There will be more coming Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday of this week, so keep watching. Of course, be sure to remember to subscribe to my channel, and hopefully we'll connect soon. Bye.